Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me today for our Makers Meetup. I'm going to be working on one of the projects I'm working on is making these, I don't know what you call them, I guess like flower holders or flower stem holders. You take these and you would put them on top of an old jar or something. They're still kind of wet, so you just set them on top and then you can poke your flowers through there, your small flower cuts. So let me go over here and grab something real quick. All right, sorry about that. Oh, and I need to put my headphones in. Where did I put them? Here they are. You probably can't hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay, so let me, hopefully you can hear me okay if you're on. If you wouldn't mind telling me if you can hear me all right. And I'll go ahead and get started on making these. The clay that I'm using is, I usually use the Sculpty clay. And I ran out. So I went to Michael's to get some more, and they didn't have Sculpted, but they had this DOS clay, which is also an air dry clay. This is white, so I can paint those if I wanted. I had some leftover terracotta clay that I won't paint those, but the white ones I will probably paint different colors. So it's fairly easy to do this, and I will pop my camera down so you can see what I'm doing. And if you're just jumping on, say hi. Let me know what your favorite crafting project is. You like to do all sorts of different things like I do. I'm into everything for the most part. I'll try any craft once and twice if I like it. So I got to get this open. So air dry clay, I usually give it a day to cure, harden up, and then I can come back in and paint it. What I am going to do though is I have, this is cornstarch, and I keep that in a little container, and I'll just sprinkle a little bit down so that the clay doesn't stick when I roll it. And I'll also put a little bit on my rolling pin, kind of like when you're baking, so nothing sticks to the surface or to your pin. I'm going to have cornstarch all over everything, but so with air dry clay, if you haven't worked with it before, you take out what you need and then you have to close it up right away. Otherwise, it will get hard. So you just got to be careful. Just work with a little bit at a time. So I'll take some out. Now this is like gray. I don't think I've ever worked with DOS before, so I'm not sure how color this is going to dry to. It's going to be more of a white, but I'm painting them anyway, so it'll be fine. So when I'm not working with the clay in the package, I like to put it in a Ziploc bag. Like I said, just to keep it from getting hard. So you can totally see the different color here. It's more of a gray, but we'll see how it turns out. It'll be fine. Like I said, I'm going to paint it anyway, not a big deal. So you just kind of smush it together. Pull this down a little bit. Hope you can see me okay. And just start flattening it out and rolling it like you would a cookie dough. And the thickness, some of them I made kind of like maybe a 1/4 inch thick. Some of the other ones are a little bit thinner. You want to roll it out. Don't totally roll it out yet because you're going to put an impression on here. And what I use is lace. Let me get a good piece of lace here. or whatever you want. So you can use like stamps. I'm going to use this piece of lace here, and you just lay it on top and just roll it out. You don't want to push too hard because you don't want the lace to move too much, but you also want to make an impression. So that's why you don't want to roll it out totally, so that you can have some flattening room, I guess you would say, left when you roll on the lace, and then you just lift it up. And if you can see, it left a lace impression on there. And then you can take, I just have the lids from the jars that I have, so I kind of know that they're going to be the right size when I set it on top to set the flowers in. So, oh, I got some terracotta on here. Let me get that out of there. There we go. Just make sure your lid's clean, but for the most part, you just do it like, press it down like you would making cookies using a cookie cutter. And I'll just take my tool and kind of scrape this away, and you lift it up. Hi, Katie. Thanks for joining. And there you go. And I still have a little bit of terracotta stuck in there. Must have been on the table when I was rolling it. So then you can kind of clean up the edges. Just tuck them under. And so I'll go ahead and cut the rest of these, and then we'll poke some holes. Oh, you know what? I think the terracotta is on the roller. And we'll put a little bit more cornstarch on the roller. And like I said, just you can grab the lid that came with the jar. I also have like a cookie cutter one. It's a little bit larger. And you just kind of determine where you what pattern you want on it, or what part of the pattern. And just scoop it out. So I'm just going to, like I said, make a couple of these. I'll make a big one here. All right. And then you just grab let me tuck the edges under here. See, this one's thick. It's a little thicker than probably I wanted, but that's okay. Ugh. Oops. Just turn that off. Okay. So then you take your, I just have a metal straw. You could probably use a plastic if you want. I just grab metal because it's a little bit, it's not going to bend. So it's a little bit more non-flexible. And I start in the center. You can put holes wherever you want, but these are holes for the stems of your little flowers that you're going to put through here. So you can kind of do a pattern and do whatever you want. And just make sure your holes go all the way through, because once it dries, I mean, you could probably still get something through to pierce the hole, you know, make sure it's opened, but just easier to do when it's wet. And I don't know if this cornstarch is going to show up on here once it dries, to be honest. So I'm just going to go ahead and spray it a little bit with some water, and then that'll just get rid of that. And just set it somewhere flat to dry. And go to the next one. Again, I just like to start in the middle. If you have a lot of excess on the other side, you can just go ahead and either cut it off or smooth it out. So I think I've been using this for a while, so I think the the clay is going to start like popping through the top here. I usually start out, you know, I put it flat on the table and then lift it. Like I said, just kind of, if you want to do a pattern, whatever you want to do, that's fine. This is kind of the underside. And this one's okay. I don't think there's a lot of cornstarch on it, so I'm just going to set it on the tray. If you're just jumping on, if you wouldn't mind saying hi in the comments so that I know the comment section is working, that would be great. Air dried clay does shrink up a little bit, so not that that's going to matter. I mean, it's going to, which ones? I think this is for this jar, so it'll fit nicely on there still, even if it does shrink up a little bit. All right, I think I'm going to try some stamps. So, hi Connie from Kansas. Thank you for joining us. And let me grab some more clay. So I use IOD products a lot. Does anybody else use IOD? I love IOD. They make such good products. They have stamps and molds and inlays. Just went on a bit of a shopping spree with them. Well, you go to a stockist. So my stockist is actually local, which is nice. So I can go to her house and save on shipping and pick up what I want. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab my stamps. Excuse me as I walk away for a moment. Let's see. Oh, bird's nest might be cool. So these are the stamps. This one is the newest one, one of the newest ones that came out. It's called Pastiche, Pastiche. Probably supposed to be French. And see if these work. If I press them into the clay, I'm getting stuff all over my clothes. What a mess. So who's an IOD fan? Give me an I am in the comments. IOD stands for Iron Orchard Designs, and it's run by two sisters. So let's see what I got here. I've got books, flowers, birds. I've got this one. It might be a little small. There's a bird's nest. I'll try the bird's nest, and this looks like a pocket watch. and we'll see if those work. I don't know if they'll be thick enough, but we'll try it. We'll see. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? This is not very ridge, not a lot of ridges in it. I don't know if I want to do that far. I'm looking for more round things like that would set on top of a jar. I'll try this one. All right, set this aside. I need another table, I swear. I've got this big long table. It's like 8 feet long, but I still run out of room. All right, let me roll this out. Probably don't need this much, but whatever I don't use for the stamps, I'll use for just use something else. All right. I'm not a very good roller. I don't know if there's a trick because my middle always seems to be sets up more, you know? Is that normal? All right. So let's try, I guess, a flower. I'm gonna roll it on and we'll see if it leaves a good impression. Oh, you know what? I probably should. Oh, that's fine. I was gonna say I probably should have put cornstarch on it. So now, you know what I also should have done? Is I should have cut around it before I took it out. But that's okay. I will. Oh, let me find a handy dandy tool. I love these little tools. So I got these at, you can get these at Dollar Tree. Just like painting tools or whatever. They come in handy for a lot of different things, especially when you're working with clay. So I think I'm just gonna like cut around it. Next time I will leave it in there and then cut around the stamp itself. And I can soften up the edges with my fingers once I get it out of here. There we go. You just tuck the edges under. You can if you needed to really fix anything, like some of mine have little cracks in it, you can add water, or just if it cracks, it cracks. It makes it adds to the aesthetic, I guess you could say, of the stamp or the cut. So that one turned out okay. Let's try another one, and I will cut around it as it's when it's in here, so I can. This one is looks like a pocket watch. All right, smashed in there. I guess if maybe I go, well, I don't know if that would work. I was gonna say if I like pushed it down, it went. It's not really a cutter, so it's not gonna go all the way through the clay. So I'm gonna nix that idea before I do it. And then trying to determine which tool I want to use. Let's try this one. If you mess up, you can always just roll it back up and start over again, right? And if you really want to save the clay from getting hard, you can, as you're taking it off, you can put it in a baggie, but I'm not going to worry about that. It doesn't dry that fast, but I got this, I think it's $11.99 for that package, and then I had a 40% off coupon at Michael's. Just kind of want to pull this away from here and then do some more cuts. Clean it up. The other thing that I've done with air dry clay and these stamps, I've done it with other IOD stamps, is to make what do you call them? Like air fresheners, like essential oil diffusers. Like I'll put a hole in the top, and then you can hang it from your rear view mirror. But you just put a couple of drops of essential oil on the clay when it's dry. I've done that. I've actually made them, just a round one, let it dry, and then you can stamp these, and you can stamp it right onto the clay. Ink it up and stamp it on. Those turned out cool. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'll clean up the edges and I'll show you. It's a little rough, but there's a little pocket watch. You can see that. And then what was the other one? Oh, the bird's nest. This one, well, we'll try it, but there's really not a lot of, I'm not even going to try it. There's not enough like raised parts in the middle. You wouldn't even know it was a bird's nest, so I'm not going to bother with that one. So then you just go with your straw and start poking your holes. I don't know where you are in your neck of the woods, if you have any flowers coming up yet. I have to go look at my wildflower garden. I'm in Michigan, so things are just starting to get green and grow. And I have, I got to check out I planted a wildflower garden last year. So that's why I'm really excited to have these, so I can just set it on top of a jar and pop some little flowers in there, put some water in your jar and then set one of these on top. Poke your little flowers through. It'll look really cute, like on a windowsill or throughout your house. I love cutting flowers, fresh flowers, and just putting them all over the house. Right. Put one more there. So the rest I'm just going to use probably the lace. The lace is easy. You could probably use maybe if you have stencils or something. All right. What do you think? You think anybody, you think you'll try this project? So the lace I just pick up at thrift stores, antique stores. I use it for different projects, mostly like decorating jars or junk journals. When I make junk journals, I might use lace. So yeah, I'll just do the whole thing with this. I really like this part here in the center. And there you go. I don't know if you can see the design. I don't want to lift it right now. I'm going to, I want to do a big one. Yeah, I'll do a big one. Again, if you don't like how the design turned out, you can always just smash all the clay back together and start over. It's kind of cool. It looks like a garden path. I like how that one turned out. I like that one. That turned out really good. That can go in a larger jar, or you can still put it on a smaller jar because the holes still cover the top, or the holes can still, the flowers can still go through the hole to get to the water that you would have in your jar. I save jars. Does anyone else save jars here? I'm a huge jar hoarder. All right, and reuse this. Bloop. Should have put some more cornstarch on the table because it's sticking. But that's all right. We'll get it. There we go. I should probably try and pop this. Oh, the clay out that's stuck in here. Obviously, if you have something that doesn't collect, like a straw, like something, I don't know. I guess, yeah, something else should work. Anything else that's could push through. And there we go. So I want to see if I can, I don't know what I have to push this through. A pipe cleaner, of course, but what else do I have that I can use to have a skinny enough paintbrush? Which I still need to get new paintbrushes. I saw some at Joann's. Oops, dropped that one. That I would like, but they were not on sale, and I only had the one coupon, so I'll have to go back for the 40% off. It's kind of silly not using coupons when you shop at Michael's or Joann's. Or Mike, where was I? No, I was at Michael's. I like Michael's. I think they have a better selection of paintbrushes than Joann's. I don't know if I'm getting anywhere here. I probably should get it out though before it dries, right? And I'm pretty sure I have pipe cleaners somewhere. Where? I don't know, and I don't want to spend all your time trying to get this out. So we're not going to worry about it. All right, let's roll this out and make a few more. So what are your thoughts on this? Is this something that you think that you would try? The reason I'm making so many is because I have a craft show coming up on June 8th. And so I'm making a bunch of stuff. Home decor type things. I also have bath and body products that I make. Soap, body butter, lip balm, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to have that there. And hopefully I want to set my tent up like a little store. So I do need to get going on making some Bath and Body products though, because I'm pretty much out of everything. Need to definitely make lip balm. Let's see. I like this one. I'll use that. You could press flowers on here too. That might work. If I could dried flowers maybe. What do you think? What would you press in the clay? All right. And then you don't have to use like the whole area that's stamped. You could kind of go off on the side a little bit and have an area that's kind of plain. You don't need to always have, a stamped area. I'll show you what I'm talking about as soon as I get this out. Again, I think I forgot to. I didn't put any what do you call it? Cornstarch on the table. So I didn't get this part here is plain, which is okay, right? This is all stamped and this is plain. That's all right. Works just fine. Poke some holes. It's a fun project. Kids can do this. Be a fun project at school. Mother's Day is coming up. Fun for the kids to do for Mother's Day. I'm going to re-roll this because, well, it might lift okay. I didn't think it was gonna, but it might be fine. This one I want to try to get as much as I can on there. Yeah, it's still sticky because as I press down with the lid, makes it stick to the table more, right? So anyone here a gardener? Have you started gardening at all? Putting in vegetables? Are you vegetable or flowers? I do mostly flowers. Alrighty. Trying to see who's on here. We got Sandra, Juanita, Gwen on Facebook. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and roll this again. If you're just joining, I am making these, I guess, flower holders. What you do is you stamp out your clay and then you can recycle your jars and fill them with water when these are dry. And you just poke your little flowers through there. Whoop. Sorry, fell off. For, a fun little display. Show off your cut flowers. Obviously, you take the labels off of these, which I normally do, but I don't know why I didn't with these. This one probably, it still smells like garlic. I don't know how to get the garlic smell. I soaked it and washed it. I actually even like put a bunch of essential oils inside to try and get rid of the garlic smell. But I like these little jars. Little garlic jars. You can use larger ones if you want, like pickle jars and stuff, and put larger flowers in. You'd obviously have to make a bigger one, maybe like this. Hi, Mary. Thanks for joining. All right, let me put some of this down so it doesn't stick. Oh, my shirt's a mess. Just like baking, I always make a mess. All right, so let me use this one. So is anybody working on any crafting projects tonight, or do you just hop on to see what I'm doing? See, I get the edges more. My edges don't seem to have a very good impression. I feel like I focus on the middle too much. Oh, that one's cool. All right, I'll do a big one. For this one. Where's my little spatula? Still stuck, not too bad. And then I could probably do a smaller one right here. Yep. You know, this one's a little thin, but it should be okay. I think that's going to be too thin. It might crack. So we will redo that one. Let me poke some holes in this one, which I do realize I need to get the clay that's stuck in here. I do need to get it out because as I'm poking it through, some of it's coming up and it will leave a, let me see if I can show you. Sometimes these little pieces are going to pop out and get stuck on here. So I'm going to have to get a pipe cleaner and clean this. I thought they would just start, you know, if I pushed it enough, it would start popping up the top here and wouldn't be an issue, but and you just willy-nilly put the holes wherever you want. See that one? Yep, that one too. Stuff's coming out of the straw and it's just setting on top of the hole. So I gotta be careful of that. And then I am going to spray this one. Like I said, I don't know how it's going to dry with the if some of the cornstarch is on there. So I'm just gonna wet it a little bit before I put it in my tray to dry flat. You want these to dry as flat as possible. I guess if you really wanted to and you knew what jar you were putting it on, you know, you could mold it to the top of the jar, I guess. I don't know. But I'm just gonna leave mine flat on this tray to dry overnight. Just kind of tap them down a little bit, make sure they're flat. And there we go. I have quite a few now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 there. And then these are ones I made earlier. This is the Sculpey clay, which is white, and the DOS clay, which is gray. So I'm not sure what color the gray, if it's going to still be gray or is it going to be white? I have no idea. And then this is obviously terracotta, which I think I'm going to do some more terracotta ones. So these are all the ones I have done so far. So I'm going to put this, let me roll this out. Might as well finish. I don't want to put this away because it's already kind of drying out, which again, you can wet it down if you need to. And let me see. I'll just put this right in the center. And probably, I might be able to get two out of here. This one's a little thin, but we'll see how it dries. As long as they don't crack. Ah, shoved it back in there. Just tuck the edges under. And of course, this is a little weird shape because the cap is, it's got these ridges on it and stuff, or these little, whatever you want to call them. So, but that's okay. As long as it can set on top of your jar, doesn't really matter. So like I said, easy peasy. This would be a cool craft for kids to do for Mother's Day gifts. Gifts. Oopsie. And if something didn't poke all the way through, you just put the straw back through. I'm going to spray this one down, but I'm going to probably spray them both down. So I'm going to wait and do them both in a second here. Mary, did you get any of your veggies planted yet? I think we're done. I'll have to look on the calendar, but I think our frost, our last frost has passed, maybe? Or was it May 5th? I'll have to look. I've been watching the weather app, and I haven't seen any. I gotta get another tray. I'm gonna take that with me because it's all wet. I'll be back. I gotta walk over here and get another tray. All right. And I'll spray this one. And let me move these trays out of the way. I swear I need more table space for all this stuff. I got these, I got so many projects in mind. I want to make some paper. And I got these little frames. You put your paper paste in there and then let it dry in the sun. That's another project I want to try. Still, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what, like I said, I don't remember when our last threat of frost is. All right, I'm going to throw that out. And let's see if I could clean the straw out. Let me see if I can find my pipe cleaners. I know there's somewhere. No, they have stencils, but I'm not going to try those. All right, let's see. Don't mind me, just looking for pipe cleaners. Something. I wonder if this will work. Skinny little dowel. You've made paper before? Is it easy? You just kind of smash it up in the blender? All right, let's see. Maybe this one will work. I'll get some of it out. I should probably just use this to make the holes, huh? Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. Just use a dowel, so then I don't have to worry about trying to clean out the straw. As long as nobody tries to drink out of the straw, because they're not going to get very far. All right. So let me think. Do I want this size? That might be too small. Maybe a little bit thicker. I'll just use this. And that way I don't have to worry about cleaning out a straw. All right, so I have, this one's going to be messy because I did this earlier. I should have an apron on. It's a mess here. I am going to do terracotta. And it's, oh, that's not the terracotta. That's the regular. The terracotta that I have is a little dried out. So I will need to wet it, and it's going to make my table and my hands a little messy. Sheet of needlepoint plastic to lay the pulp on it is pretty easy. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw these. They're kind of small. You know, everything, I don't really pay attention to size, unfortunately, but so they're kind of small. But I thought that would be cool to try out. I bought these on Amazon. They weren't too expensive. I think I have like 4 of them. So all right. Let me get a decent amount here. See, this is kind of hard, a little crumbly. Stuff down here is a little better because it was tucked in the packaging a little bit better, but I kind of want to use it up because it's just going to keep getting dry. So I'm going to put that in here. I'll put a little bit more in there to dry, or to just wet it in there and set that aside. Actually, you know what? I'm going to wet it all in here so my table doesn't get too messy. And then I'm going to smash it together. So a little piece there. How much do I want to smash together? I'll use these 3 pieces here. See, my hands are going to get really messy. It's pretty dry. But I don't want to waste it. I had almost a whole package of that. I bought it by mistake. I thought it was white. See, there's a piece in here that's really hard. I might have to just throw it out if I can't work it in here. It's like playing in mud. We just got to work the water in there so it starts getting a little bit more pliable. And that one piece is still really hard. Good exercise for your hands, unless you have arthritis. And that's no fun. So we have Juanita, Naomi, Relina on Facebook. Thanks for joining. Not sure who we have on YouTube. YouTube doesn't give me names unless you put something in the comments and say hi. So if you want me to say hi back, just say hi in the comments. All right. Now, let's see. Still a little dry. Messy, messy, messy. All right. I think this will have to do. And I won't make you sit here and watch me do all of this clay, but I'm going to put a little of this down and actually wipe my hands. So another good buy at the Dollar Tree is their wipes. I got baby wipes just so I can clean up myself a little easier. And what else did I get? I got the what are these called? Good and clean disinfectant wipes. Those are always nice to have around to help with cleanup. The other thing that's nice with the baby wipes is if you do stamping at all, you just clean your stamps off with the baby wipes. All right. Now that my hands are all smooth as a baby's butt, right? I'm using the baby wipes. Put a little bit of stuff on here. Get this out of your way. Kind of see what I'm doing. We'll see how this goes. Like I said, I did this earlier, so it's fine. All right, so you roll it and then leave some flattening for the rolling of the lace. I'll put that over there because I like this shit. Yeah. This part. My favorite part of this lace. And just continue to roll. There's no wrong way to do this. Or a right way. Do it like. Alright. There we go. And I think I'll use the big one again for this part. Yeah, that's all I'm going to get out of that one. See, I could have gone a little bit thinner, but that's okay. Scoop it up. and then start poking the holes through. So now it's my first time using the dowel, so we'll see how that goes. I usually put it right through there, but I think I'm just gonna want to go more in the center. Should I go with the pokey side? Probably. I just twist and push it through. There we go. Now those holes as big as these, because they will shrink up. Looks a little bit smaller. Let me see. It should be fine. You can just kind of twist it and try and make it just a tad bigger as you go. We got Karen and Waina. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Thanks for hopping on. So I'm making these, this is air dry clay, and I am pressing lace onto these to make a fun design, poking holes through it, and then you can let this dry and put it on top of a jar. Fill the jar with water, put this on top of the jar, and poke your little flowers through it. Your spring flowers. So you just recycle your jar. Of course, that was a little big, but you get the point. All right, now my concern though is these are not going to be big enough holes, to be honest, because they are going to shrink up. So let me see if I have a larger dowel, which I'm sure I do. Let's see. I think they're all the same size. All right, let me get, I know I have more. You can never have too many dowels. Well, that one's going to be too big. I might have to go back to the straw. I think I do. I don't know. Well, let's try it, because let's see if the straw is actually any bigger, or is it the same size? I just feel like the holes were bigger when I used the straw. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger. So I'll just have to clean the straw out. Or I could poke it through with the dowel first, but that makes double the work, right? If you have to go back through and poke the holes bigger. Because once this dries, you obviously will not be able to make the holes bigger. Let's see, a couple more to go, and I think I'm good. And what I want to do though is, see, that's cracking because it's so dry. I'm going to go ahead and spray this. This is the underside. And see if I can kind of just flatten these out a little bit. I'll spray the tool as well. Just kind of flatten these out a little bit. Open them up a little more. See if I can kind of pinch this cracked piece together. And then I'm going to flip it and then do the holes again. And rub your finger on there and just kind of try to get the cracks to seal. I was going to say heal, but I guess they could heal. You need to heal the cracks. Just keep in mind that the more you play with it, the flatter the design is going to get. So I'm going to go ahead and see. This is what I was talking about. The terracotta ones, they're so messy. So I think this should be good. Yeah, I think that's good. And I'm just going to spray the top again. So I don't know if the cornstarch is going to show, but there we go. There's the terracotta one. And I'm going to do the rest. Finish this package off off screen so you don't have to watch me make a mess of myself. So we pop this up, say goodbye. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm here every Wednesday, 6:30 Eastern time, and keep working on those projects and share in we have a Makers Unify Facebook group. If you'd like to share your projects that you're working on, or you have questions, or you want to get inspiration and see what other people are working on, we'd love to see you over there. Again, that's Makers Unify Facebook group. I also have a Makers Unify Facebook page, of course, YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, on all the channels. So thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful evening. Bye.